Today I'm giving my Filofax Norfolk a new vibe for August. I've picked a fresh colour direction, I've got some gorgeous new pieces to add, and I'm going for a setup that's as functional as it is aesthetically beautiful. If you want to see how I pull together a cohesive look that feels seasonal, how I choose decor that inspires me every time I open my planner, and how I make sure it's still practical for daily use, keep watching. Hey, it's Chloe here, and if you're new to my channel, welcome to Planning with Chloe, and if you're not, welcome back. So as I said in the intro, I'm setting up my Filofax Norfolk for August with a brand new vibe that I've not really done before. I've been inspired by my love for matcha latte. I'm all about the Starbucks iced matcha lattes and the normal matcha lattes, and yeah, I just love it. So, and I feel like green is quite a good colour for heading into August maybe. I don't know. I feel like maybe August should be yellow and lemons and things. And the plan I did have for my August, I'm kind of over it a little bit, mainly because I work in retail and the postcard print has been like, I've seen it so much. The oranges, the lemons, the tomato postcard prints, like all of that, and I'm just a little bit over it now. So maybe that's why I'm going for this green matcha latte sort of vibe. So as you can see, here's the color scheme that I've picked out. Now let's go through what we've actually got here. Now, just to go back a step, my current planner that I'm in at the moment is the Moterm Luxe. This is an A5 planner. It's in the cream croc, and this is the Luxe, the first series. So not that it's called Luxe 1.0, but I just call it the first series of the Luxe to differentiate between Luxe 2.0. Now my setup in here, this is how I set it up, I think at the beginning of the year, and it's just stayed like this. I don't think I did a change at any point. It just got set up like this, and this is how it's stayed. So I am ready for a bit of a refresh when I open up my planner. As pretty as it is, as much as I love the Sarasa Grand in the vintage brown colour, love this pen. It's got such a beautiful weight to it. As much as I love my this is a Tombow monograph pencil, mechanical pencil that if it's unlocked, oh it is unlocked, you shake it to for the lead to come out. So yeah, it's a bit of a quirky thing to learn how to use. I've also got the mild liner in mild beige, which I really love. It goes with this whole scheme, this whole cream beige sort of vibe, cream beige and brown vibe that I've got going on, with touches of pink, although I've got these peachy hues at the front. Anyway, this is what we're moving away from, and there might be a weekly spread where I've been doing a few more touches of pink in here. So anyway, that's where I was, and this is where, if I just put this over here, this is where I'm going. So we're moving to the Filofax Norfolk. This is the A5 size, and it's in the colour taupe. Now I did hum and ha over using this just because it really kills me that the pockets are at the back and that there's like an aggressive amount of pockets, in my opinion. Sorry, let's take this out so you're not getting that reflection. So yeah, a little bit of a bummer in that situation, but as much as I would love to just run out and buy a new planner, like any excuse to buy a new planner cover, I really wanted to use what I've got. I'm still humming and hawing over whether to pull the trigger on a cloth and paper cover, and then I don't know which colour I'd go for, or do I stick with Moterm because I know where I'm at with their planner covers and I really enjoy their planner covers. Do I go for a personal size this time because my home planner doesn't need to be so humongous, and my work planner definitely needs to be an A5, but in this season of life I could probably get away with a personal size planner. Anyway, that's a bit of a planner ramble that we didn't need to have because we're actually meant to be focusing on setting this up. So the colour scheme that I'm going for is the green colours. I've explained what my inspo is. It's the matcha latte, iced matcha, that kind of situation. The pens I've got here, I've got the Uniball one. Actually, I'm probably going to need to close this so it can focus. So this is the Uniball one in a 0.5mm ink. Now, and it's black ink. Now, this isn't the pen that I ordered. I actually ordered one that had more of, in the picture it looked like an olivey green barrel, and it was a 0.38mm nib on the ink. But they sent me this, and this is actually a cheaper pen than the one I ordered. So I'm a little bit, I ordered from AliExpress because it was literally the only place I could find where I could get hold of these. The normal places where I shop, and bearing in mind I'm based in the UK, I normally go to cultpens.com and the journalshop.com. I'll put the links in the description. But they didn't have these. They didn't have a great selection, and you would have thought that Cult Pens would have a good selection of these, but I couldn't spot it. They might do now after I've gone down my AliExpress rabbit hole, but at the time when I was looking for these, they didn't. And AliExpress is the next place where I can order. I should have checked on Etsy. Maybe I did, I can't remember. But even so, on Etsy, if I do find something, the shipping is like way more than the pen itself, and I only want a pen. I don't want to order a whole bunch of stuff just to get free shipping. It's just a bit of a nightmare being in the UK, really, just for so many reasons. But there you go. Anyway, we're not going to dog on the UK. Let's get back to the programming. Another thing that I ordered was mild liners. Again, I couldn't find these on Cult Pens, and I couldn't find, well, when I say these, I can find these on Cult Pens and the Journal Shop, just not this colour. So I ended up getting this from Amazon, and this came in a pack with a few different colours. Really, really soft hues, actually. I want to say the lineup was this plus the mild beige, which I already had. So I was like, don't really need another mild, no, not that one. Here we go. I don't really need another mild beige because I've got one in my existing planner, and I don't really need another one of these because I've already tried this. I think it's called cream, mild cream colour, and it's so pale you can barely even see it. So, but I do love the mild beige, so it was nice to have a backup for when the current one runs out, although I find these things last for days, for years even. And I did already have a grey, but again, I do quite like the grey. So really, I only got the pack to get the green and the pink colour, but I'm thinking to buy them separately was going to cost me the same amount of money as buying a whole pack, and then I'll have some backups and some extras. So there we go. That was that little tangent that we've been on. So my colours, the Uniball one with the green barrel. We've got the mild liner, which is the, I want to say it might be called mild olive, I'm not sure. One thing I have done with this Uniball is, because I know the 0.38 is very scratchy in my opinion to write with, so what I've actually done is, can get the camera to focus. This is a zebra ink refill for the Sarasa. I think this one is the grey blue. It's not quite the colour that I wanted, but I wanted to make sure that it fits, so I just took it out of an existing Sarasa. But I might put, because I bought a whole bunch of the brown refills, the grey browns, so these ink refills fit a Uniball one. So if you also find like the 0.38 to be particularly scratchy, then you can always switch it out for a 0.5mm zebra Sarasa ink refill, and that seems to work fine. Now, I didn't test the 0.5, I don't think, to see whether I liked it or not. I just instantly switched it, so I actually can't comment on this one, but you know, whatevs. So the setup, I've got a few other bits and pieces to bring the greens in. So I've got these cards from Shamila Joy. She does these little packs called Pocket Truths, and they're well, it says powerful declarations from encouraging Bible verses. And then I also have the kids version as well. And out of those two packs, I've picked this one from the normal version and then this one from the kids version. So I'm thinking of using maybe an ollie clip. So this is just one of the small ollie clips to pop that there. But I also picked these up from AliExpress. They're quite chunky, maybe aggressively chunky compared to, say, this little guy that I picked up from Flying Tiger, which is part of my colour scheme. So I'm not sure. I mean, this wasn't strong enough to hold that. So that's why I had to sort of hunt around for a few other pieces. But we see that? I'm not sure about that. I think the ollie clip is probably better, isn't it? We'll do the ollie clip for now. This could be subject to change, and then maybe, I don't know. No, we'll leave it at that. And then in terms of charms, I do want a little bit more deco. I'm thinking, because at the moment in my planner I have the moon and the butterfly from Colour Cafe, which I really, really love. But I definitely want to change things up, and I don't want to spend more money, although I do love the little takeaway coffee cup planner charm from Colour Cafe. But for now, to avoid spending any more money, I'm going to go with the little daisy. I think that could be quite cute. So let's pop that there. Maybe that's not strong enough. Maybe it should be. Maybe if we pop that to one side, or maybe I bring it down a little bit. Let's maybe bring that down a tad. And then do that. There. I think that is going to be the look. And then in terms of what I'm doing up the front here, I've printed out some dashboards that I've designed. Now, I did struggle with this because originally I thought maybe I could have a matcha latte picture. So I created this, but I'm like, oh, this is like super girly and watercolory and pretty, and maybe it's a bit too frou-frou and pretty, although it's lovely, but I'm not sure about the blues. So then I created this. I used Adobe Firefly to help me create these. And I quite like this because I love the whole anime vibe. And the reason I've gone for the anime vibe is I saw a video Megan Rhiannon did, I think it's Megan Rhiannon did, where she had her Labubu as a charm on her planner, although she eventually took her off because it was getting grubby. But I thought that that was such a cute idea. And is there a way that I could incorporate my neighbour Totoro as a little planner charm, because it's this grey colour that I also wanted to incorporate into my planner. And then I thought, well, maybe I could do a little anime inspired matcha and peonies style dashboard to go in my planner. And as much as I like this, in the end, what I've decided to do, and I might use this, I don't know, but in the end I decided that I would go for this. So it's actually a close-up picture of matcha tea with ice in it, which I thought was quite perfect for August. And then over the top I'm just layering this vellum, which you may not be able to pick it up on the camera. Let's move this whole thing to one side. It says August, reset, realign, return with purpose. And then at the bottom it just says put pen to paper and make plans. So this is a vellum that I've printed myself, designed, and then printed myself. So we're going to have this little layering moment up the front. There we go. And then we've got the green Uni 1 pen to go in there. Maybe, I mean, this is to be decided, but maybe Tortoro will, maybe not the bottom, maybe he needs to hang from the top, and maybe he needs to be on like a bit of a chain because there's not enough room. Can I get that on there? And there's probably people watching me hang things off my rings who are just like, oh my gosh, blasphemy. And on a Filofax, are you a crazy woman? Potentially yes. Potentially yes, I am a crazy woman. Maybe, could I use the paper clip for now? Yeah. Well, maybe I could use that paper clip. Oh, we are really just, we're crafting it today. Oh, okay. Okay, we're seriously crafting it, but whatever. Or maybe I should use the green one. Maybe the green, yeah. Right, let's take that off. Okay, we're going with the green one for now. I mean, that's, I'm not loving that as a makeshift thing. It needs to be slightly better, but in terms of actually seeing it at the top there, no, it's not really working. Definitely gonna have to rethink this. Okay, we're just, abort mission. Abort mission, that, we'll come back to that. So that's the vibe at the moment. Do I need one of these? I do need to get my mild liner can go there. Perfect. Nice. I don't have a pencil, and I do want a pencil. I don't know which pencil. Do I have any in here? Yes, we can use that pencil. It's grey. So this one is the Zebra Delgado. It's a mechanical pencil, and this is the one that, is it the one that spins, or is it the one that, it's got the spring in there. So if you push down too hard, to avoid snapping the lid, to avoid snapping the lead, it has a spring to absorb some of the pressure that you might be exerting as you're writing. So that is the Zebra Delgado, and I think that's quite a good combo, but I am going to need an extra pen loop of some description to be able to put this in here, but for now maybe we'll just put that there potentially. Although if I had another no, okay, we'll clip it there for now. Unless I clip it there. Okay, maybe we'll do, no, because it's interfering with the rings. Okay, for now we'll just clip it there. I haven't got anything else in there. And then when I've got my inserts in there and I've got my tabs there, that won't be so much of an issue. Okay, how many minutes are we into? 20 minutes, and this is as far as I've got, and it's been super chatty, which is why it's taken me so long. But I'm quite happy with how this is looking. Maybe move this behind. Now all I need to do is get my inserts in there and do my final like setup for my August month on one page. But yes, what do you think, guys? Is that good? That's not good, but the rest of it, the colours, I'm loving, and I could use that on there, couldn't I? Or am I going overboard? We'll do it anyway. I don't care. We're doing it. Okay, there we go. And then that keeps those two together. So there you have it. So maybe I could put this one in the back. There we go. Down there. Okay. Yeah, I think, and maybe what I do is I use this. Okay, I'm gonna have to rethink the pen thing because I'm not liking that, but could I put that there just for a little extra like flourish? I do like the grey, but I think the green is better. Okay, we've got a few different greens going on. Okay, maybe get rid of this and this because it's too many different greens, and maybe it should be the grey. There we go. Cool. All right, I think I'm going to stop there. Yes, I'm happy with this. Okay, it's a sip of tea. So that is it. That is the initial setup. I feel like this video was way too long, but I did talk through some of the bits and pieces that I've got here rather than just shove things in. I still want to use the Tortoro somehow. Maybe, I don't know, but he does need to be featured in this little setup situation in one way or another. Unless I can take him off of this bit and give him a longer chain, maybe, I don't know, but I feel like he belongs, like he should be here. He's invited to this party. I'm loving the greens and the greys. Yes, so the next video is going to be me sorting out an aesthetically beautiful month where I'm actually planning things, but so far this is still functional. I've got the tools that I need, the two main tools, my pen and my mild liner. So yeah, I don't feel like I've really covered all of the functional planning stuff, but this video is crazy long at this point in my opinion, so we'll leave it there. And if you've made it to this point in the video, if you've made it to the end, God bless you. Thanks for watching, and I shall catch you in the next one. Bye for now, plan friend. Bye, 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 bye.